Hello and welcome, everybody, my dear fellow shining beings. It is I, Silvia, coming to you from beautiful Eastbourne by the sea. As I am in England and we're doing that English thing, I always start by talking about the weather. That's just one of those things we do here in England. And today we have a warm, moist, rather pretty autumn day. And lots of people are out and about having fun. I guess they're frightened that a full lockdown is going to be coming our way soon. But then when it gets all cold and wintry here, then there'll be a natural lockdown, I guess. And this is as it's going to be. Good morning, dear Roberta Ann. You're the first person today. Wonderful. I'm going to give you a special blessing. And I know that you also do Project Sanctuary. So I'm going to send you a gift package that you can undo in Sanctuary in your own time. And yes, it's and don't throw the paper away. Have a look. There's something special about the gift wrap. Oh, Bear, good morning. Hello, my dear. And Ilka, good morning, Ilka. My favorite shining beings in all the world are here with me this morning. That makes me really happy. Ooh. Oh, and Julie. Good morning, Julie. How lovely to have you here with me, guys, on a Sunday morning. Ah, blessings. Blessings and lots and love to you guys. So, what we're going to do today, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Good morning. Hello there. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, so I'm not going to try, but I'm happy to see you here. Good morning. Oh, it's been one of those strange weeks in many ways, with some serious ups and some serious downs. And but the ups were good. I enjoyed the ups most particularly. And I'm going to start with one of my personal ups this week, and that is Sandra Hilawi's fundraiser to fund the operation for her husband in Egypt. Now, Egypt, unlike the UK, does not have a national health service. So when you get sick and you go to the hospital, they go, well, you have to pay me first before we're going to help you. Good morning, Paul. Just telling the story of Sandra's fundraiser. So she did a kidney operation with all the before and after care is extremely expensive. In the United States, they're quoting $440,000 for this operation. And when I first heard this, I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. Like there's no way we're going to raise $440,000. But it turns out that in Egypt, it's not that expensive. And also that Sandra had already raised an awful lot of money. She is an international trainer. She does a lot of work and a lot of seminars and things. And so she does have a reasonable income. But, imagine you had to find all of a sudden £50,000 or $75,000. Just, it's not all of us have this sort of amounts of money lying around. Good morning, Marianne. Hello there. Waving to Germany. Yeah, so Sandra was short by £7,500 and decided to do a fundraiser for this. And also, rather than just holding out a begging bowl to the Guild of Energist members, she decided that she was going to do that with special benefits and create some special offers in order to raise this money in return for the donation, as it were. And I'm highly inviting you to check that out. I have posted the links under this video, and there are some actually absolutely superb special offers there. And I'm happy to report that after a week, we have reached already 75% of the target. So there's only 25% left to go. And I'd like to have you think about this as a huge opportunity rather than giving some kind of gift here, because these things that Sandra is offering, they come from the heart and they are quite unique compared to our normal training programs, which are quite wonderful. But so I'm going to encourage you to, and if you haven't got £50 or something, you only got 10, please send it to Sandra with all your love, and think of it in terms, if it was your wife, your husband, somebody you loved who who needed this healthcare work, and you didn't have the money to pay for it. It's not a nice thing. So I'm strongly inviting you to do that. Now I'm wearing my Project Sanctuary pendant, which is reflecting the light a lot. So it looks as though it's got like a Stargate in it, but it's actually just in the Project Sanctuary colors, because I took up Sandra on her offer to do the Project Sanctuary Masters. Now, I don't need the Project Sanctuary Master Certificate. Sorry, the Supermind Master Certificate. Forgive me. Project Sanctuary was my thing for many, many years, decades, centuries, millennia. But I thought that I might take that opportunity of what is essentially 12 sessions with Sandra to really explore what my dear energy mind has to say about the future and what new projects could be created from that. And when I think about that, I start to tingle from head to foot, because one supermind is fine, but two together is more than the sum of its parts. And I'm sure you both know me and you know Sandra, and we are chalk and cheese. You couldn't have two more different human beings than we are. And so I think this is going to be an absolutely fantastic opportunity for, creating a sanctuary space where we can do sanctuary. Woohoo! I think it's I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. And I honestly also think that this is exactly what the spirit doctor ordered for me, what I absolutely needed to, yeah, to have a space and a room and to talk to somebody who gets it, and see what we come up with together. Because sanctuary is not therapy. It's not therapy. It's something else altogether. So because I'm so delighted about this and I love it so much, I have got my sanctuary things here. It's my little sanctuary pyramid I wanted to share with you this morning. I call that the sanctuary colors. It's a blend from purple through orange to gold. And that doesn't manifest that well in resin in the hard. But the idea, that's sort of the idea. My Project Sanctuary colors. Okay, thank you for listening to that. And another shout out I've got here for me to do this morning. This is for Susan Kennard. And here we're going to come into something that concerns me deeply. Look, in 2014, my aspects got seriously concerned about the mental health of the world. Seriously. I could see that the ongoing disruptions with mobile phones and the Twitter storms and the way things were going in society were causing tremendous amounts of stress, and that this was a recipe for mental health problems. There was a storm brewing that was a recipe for mental health problems. And that's when I wrote the $1 Trillion Stress Solution. And I also created the Guild of Energists Modern Stress Management Programs. And these are designed to be taken into schools, into institutions, into companies who don't want to hear about a lot of unicorns or things like that. They just want results at the bottom line so that their employees aren't as stressed as they were before. This was 2014. I wrote this. I was concerned about the mental health of the Western civilization in 2014. Seriously concerned. Now, what do you think I'm now? What do you think I am now if I was seriously concerned in 2014? I don't even know where to start. The level of, oh, we're going to have down the line insanity at an order we have never experienced before, by any which way you want to define this. And I am, of course, particularly concerned about how this affects the children. My major concern in 2014 and before was the fact that, look, my original work here was about attention-seeking behavior. This is what created the modern energy chart, that there are energy exchanges between at least social mammals, right? And that in a social mammal situation, and this is particularly so with children, they need attention. They need attention to feed their growing energy systems. And adult human beings need attention to keep stable and to evolve. You can't evolve without the attention of other people. No matter how many cats you collect, that's fine energy, but it doesn't, you need people energy. And the mobile phones have disrupted this. If energy was and attention was already in short supply before this whole mobile phone thing happened, it just went into crisis levels at that point. As I see parents at a bus stop playing with their mobile phones, and the child is sitting in the pram completely ignored, and a couple of other children just wandering around. This is a micro image of this, this divided attention. People have become fascinated with their devices, and they not giving the children enough attention. It's not their fault. And then, of course, we've got this other thing, is that the more stressed you are, the less attention you can pay, the less focus you have. So interacting with the devices, and that increases even more stress. Now the parents are even more stressed, and the children are getting even less attention, which is already terrible. But then put the whole thing into isolation. And this insanity with the schools, and children not allowed to touch each other, and children having to ask before they're allowed to cough in class. Wow. Now, I don't want to spread doom and gloom here, but I will say this. When I first started dealing with this whole tapping thing, therapy tapping, I used to have a lot of American clients. And what was astonishing to me, because I'd never heard of such a thing, was numerous of these American clients had traumas from back in the day when they had to hide under desks because they were doing drills for the atom bomb. They kind of had this thing that the drills for the atom bomb caused a fracture in that safe world that they had lived in before, and that life was never quite the same afterwards. I thought that was really interesting. I didn't realize that many American people actually had that problem. So now I'm looking at these bubbles painted in playgrounds and safety zones being made between children. And that's not just for 5 minutes during the atom bomb drill. This is what you have to do when society is about to end. You have to get under your desk and you'll be okay. This is ongoing. I can't even calculate the level of stress this must produce. And unlike the very specific, clear-cut memory of hiding under the desk, this ongoing thing, this ongoing vibration of terror, it's like they never come out of their desks. They stay under the desks, metaphorically speaking. I'm shocked by that. I just don't know. Honestly, I'm like, I just wish people would listen to me. Wish people would share what I'm saying. I wish that more people knew about the living energy body and about the absolutely horrendous effects of energy body stress on mind, body, and spirit. It is a global nightmare. But so Susan Kennard mailed me last night and said that if I could remind people that she does a monthly support group for children. She is a ex-children psychologist, so she's fairly safe, and she's a very lovely lady. And so also something that we might want to start considering is how each one of us can do something more about, educating people. I think this is the absolute essence. We can't take people's stress away. We can't take the stress of the craziness around us away, but we can help people be stronger on the inside. This is what modern energy is all about, is to have this interface that of the energy body that we can work with, that we can actually do things with, which then changes our emotions. And that's just news that is completely not out there. It's not out there. People don't know this is possible. And I'm also going to say something very controversial now. The old classic EFT thing, I can see that being in trouble, because at the moment, what seems to be happening is that people are making hay while the sun shines over their personal, negative emotions. It's like, there's an example of this. There was this woman who, she told me a story of somebody else, and I'm going to try and do this as uncontroversially as I can. So there's this person, X, who has been invited to a party, and they go to this party. And when they arrive at this party, they find that they are the only person, X, at the party. X being some kind of definition of some kind of identity thing. And so the person then describes that they felt as though the floor had opened up beneath them, and then a great anger arose in them at the person who had invited them to the party, knowing full well that they would be the only X there. And I thought, wow, back in the day, we would have said, okay, you had a negative emotional response. What you need to do is you need to tap on it so that you can walk into that room, and it doesn't matter if there's any other X's or Y's or Z's in there, and it doesn't really matter who's there. You're just going to be comfortable and strong in your own skin. And so you would possibly, under the old classic EFT, you'd be tapping on. Even though the floor opened up under my feet, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself, and get over it. Nowadays, people don't want to get over it. They want to scream about it. They want to make it everybody else's fault that they felt like that. This has been going on for a long time. We've been having all this thing with microaggression, where somebody says something and the person just freaks out and then attacks the person who has said whatever it is that they said because it made them feel bad. This is what is being taught in universities, in schools, in government organizations, in struggle sessions. And I am horrified by it. I'm horrified by it. That's got to stop. It's just creating more and more extreme victimhood. It's creating more and more stress. And it really isn't good for people to keep getting together in groups and affirming that together. Oh, I felt so terrible. Oh, I know what you mean. I felt even more terrible. And I felt, oh, so terrible. Oh, isn't it terrible? That's the exact opposite. What we need to come together as a kind of a, any kind of society, any kind of society. This is a nightmare for me. It's a nightmare. It needs to, we need to get back together in a positive way. We need to get back to this idea that we are not just victims. We're not just victims. We have that power of, that power of decision, even what you want to be in life. Unfortunately, at the moment, being a victim is being well rewarded financially. If you write books about it, if you make industrial trainings about it, oh, there's a lot of money in that. Millions and millions and millions. If you do it in public, if you encourage others to do this in public, it's extremely fashionable. It is fashionable to emotionally self-mutilate ourselves and others. And I'm going to ask you guys to stand up to that and stop it and realize that this is not the right way to go. Nothing good comes of it. Seriously, nothing good can come of it. Just pick up a quick comment here. Wendy says, I was in school tapping last week with the students and teachers. Some of them have major trauma from the whole COVID thing. Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do. Of course they do. You know, for little children, seeing adults locked in their own home and running around like headless chickens, stacking up the toilet paper, it's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so if you would like to help Susan with her child program that's here, she's in Hastings here in the UK, or if you would like to set up something similar where you are, just offer some free, once a month, some free words of wisdom, bit of heart healing, bit of positive Project Sanctuary or Supermind for the children, that would be a lovely, lovely thing. I am in the process of trying to figure out how to organize that so that our members can, you know, reach out to more people, what we're going to do with the trainers training. I've mentioned that before. We really do. What I said in a discussion the other day was, look, when we first started this whole thing, it was like a hobby for bored housewives. Hobby for bored housewives who go to a new age festival every weekend. And that's the sort of people, you know, they're like, that's the sort of attitude to it. You don't need it. It's just a hobby. You could just as well do macrame or watercolor painting. Don't matter, you know. But now I think it's more than that. It is really, it is more, it has become more important, more important, ever more important as time has gone on, that people start having a different attitude to their emotions, that we have less stress and more health and happiness. Because this stress thing isn't just about making bad decisions and having terrible ideas and bringing other people down and ruining businesses with bad ideas and conflicts and confrontations. The stress directly attacks the body. Chronic stress causes autoimmune diseases. We are going to see an explosion of autoimmune diseases in the next, 6 to 18 months and going up. It's not brain surgery. Okay, so enough of the doom and the gloom. Enough of the doom and the gloom. We can only do what we can do. I am always doing my best that I can. I know there's people saying that I should do more. I should shout louder. I should run around in the street with a megaphone. But it's one of those things, isn't it? Modern energy is really important for humanity. My aspect saw that in 1997. This is not esoteric nonsense. This is important stuff. People need to understand this. to recover their magnificence, their beauty, their immortality, their connection to each other with spirit itself. It is of the essence to stop being so terrified and so helpless against the world. Okay, and so after all of that, let's do something lovely. Just join me in the heart position, if you will. Let's take a deep breath in and out. See, I believe in the spirit of humanity. I do. The spirit of humanity lives inside each person. Each person, every person. Doesn't matter if they were born with arms and legs or not. Doesn't matter where they're from. The spirit of humanity is a fire that will not go out, no matter how much misery you pour on it. It will not be extinguished. As long as one of us remains alive, the spirit of humanity lives on. What I'd like you to do today is just connect to that flame, that unique flame in all time spent. That is that spirit of humanity. This is a timeless thing. It goes back through the deepest history and forward into the future. And it's not just here on this physical level. It moves up and forward and out of this physical level into the greater universe. And yes, we are but children in the greater universe. But this being so, let us take that attitude of patience, of love, and believing in humanity itself. For when we believe in humanity, then we also believe in ourselves, and we believe in each other. And though we may cry at the sad, stressed, crazy people, just know that therefore the grace of God go us. And if we really want to make a change, it has to come. It has to start with the spirit. Fanning that flame. Stopping the endless rain. Let it flare up, because it is magnificent. It is magnificent and it is beautiful. And I believe in it. Oh. Well, thank you very much for listening today, for being here with me, my dear, dear fellow shining beings. Yeah, that is the spirit of humanity, isn't it? The fellow shining beings. Everyone is a shining being. And I am sorrowful that not more people know that yet. They don't know that yet. Not consciously. Deep down, everybody knows this. Deep down, everybody knows that they are a shining being. Okay, so I'm going to bless you. I'm going to leave you with all my love. I'm going to encourage you to go forth and do the sort of things a shining being would do. And to be for the people who look to you for inspiration, for guidance, for wisdom, for support, to help them and help them on their path. These are just gentle touches here and there that can make an enormous difference to an individual who has perhaps given up hope or is on that threshold of despair. So, yeah, let's go forth and, well, be hopeful. Be hopeful, be positive, be proactive. Let us have good ideas of what we can do here to contribute something positive in the maelstrom of negativity that is surrounding us. But the human spirit will win the day. I know it will. Thank you very much, guys. Have a fantastic week. Have a beautiful day. And I will see you again next week for Sunday Live with Silvia. Lots of love. And bye for now.